guys, we are back with part 2 of Hacking Mr. Robot. So where we left off, we just got access to the WordPress administrator section, and we found these credentials in the WordPress license file. So we have administrator access to the website now. And with that in mind, we basically now have shell access to the server, because since we have administrator access, and assuming, there's not anything abnormal blocking us from doing so, we can now basically upload our own PHP code and do whatever we want. And I think what a good idea would be is to create a shell on the server, or rather create a reverse shell back to our server, back to our box from this server. So why don't we go ahead and do that now? There's several different ways you could go about doing that. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. I prefer, let's just go to the editor and let's just select the 404 template, and then we can basically just inject our own PHP code right here and it'll run. So let's do that now. So I'm just going to completely modify this. Alright. And then what I just pasted in here is a PHP reverse shell. And let me scroll back up to the top here. And as you can see, I received it from pentestmonkey.net. So you can go there and download the code yourself. It's open source, as you can see. But before we actually run this, we need to configure it. And specifically, we need to set the IP of our box, our server, and the port. I don't remember what my IP is, so let's go ahead and grab that now. And I'll just do the port 2223. Okay, that's all we have to do. And if you want, you're more than welcome to go through this code, just see what it does, modify it as you see fit. What I just erased there was just some commands. I don't need it to run those. So yeah, there's the code. There's not really a bunch to it, but enough to get the job done. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to update the file, and I'm going to take another quick look at it, make sure everything's on the up and up. Everything looks alright. So let's go ahead and update the file. Actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and get our reverse shell set up so we can actually catch that. We're going to use netcat. With our port number. So that's sitting there just waiting for our reverse shell. Oops. Oh, darn it. I clicked away and I did not save it. Let's go back and see if it's still there. Hey, it is. Let's make sure it's still accurate. Alright, perfect. Alright, so let's go ahead and update the file. Alright, no problems. Updated successfully. So now all we need to do in order to get our reverse shell to execute is create the 404 page to be executed, and that means we just need to type in something that doesn't exist. And when we hit enter, it should execute our code, and as you can see over here on the right side of the screen, boom, we got our shell. So let's go ahead and full screen that baby. You can see we're running as the ID of Damon. All right. So let's poke around. So we have a user Varnish and we have a user Robot. Permission denied. I'm not surprised. Okay, let's just be nosy. I don't think that's going to be. No. Let's go look at the web folder. No? Why not? Oh. Oh, okay. There is no www. Let's go look at the home directories. We got Robot. Oh, hey. There's our second key. But I can tell we're not going to be able to read it. It only Robot can read it. But we can read this password .raw. Alright, that looks like a credential to me. An encrypted one, but nonetheless a credential. So let's go ahead and document this. And that should be easy to crack. Let's just see what we find on Google. Alright, so there's our hash. This is the right page. Now what is the... Okay, well what's the answer? Oh, here it is. Huh. Alrighty. So at least now we have credentials. So we can escalate to Robot and use that access to read that file. We don't have a TTY, so we need a TTY. We can do that with Python. Hopefully Python is available. I think that's right. Alright, this basically just is a very small, little tiny Python program that spawns a shell and it'll give us a TTY. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. So now, let's see, we're still the ID of daemon, so now let's try to su to robot and enter in the alphabet. Perfect. All right. Let's get our next key. Okay, now there's one more key we need to find. Let's see. What do we want to do? I always like to see if they have any. I don't feel like typing the alphabet. Let's just copy and paste it. Yeah, I always like to see what pseudo permissions a user has. Because anything root related is an opportunity. Potential opportunity. So let's go ahead and just search for root files. More specifically, root files that are set UID. So we'll go ahead and let this run, and then we'll take a look and see what files we have available to us. We got nmap installed, that's interesting. It's not typically installed. And it's installed as root. I'm also, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can execute system commands from nmap. So that was really the only file that stood out to me. Let's find out. Well, that looks promising. Hold on, this is ncat. What the heck? That's not what I want. Hmm. In map 3.81. Hmm. And that's exactly what we're looking for right there. So as you can see, if we put nmap in an interactive, use that command line option, it says we can easily execute shell commands. And here's an example right here. So it looks like all we have to do is just run nmap with the interactive option, put an exclamation mark in front of our command, and we have a shell running as the user of the file, which in our case is root. So this should work. We should now be able to get root access. So far so good. Moment of truth. Did not work. It's only running. I could have swore the nmap was set UID root. Let's go back up. Where was that installed at? Did I miss something? Oh, interesting. I'm a little confused as to why. Oh, I totally overlooked. We have our EUID of root. I thought that actually said robot. My mind just totally didn't notice that. So yeah, bam, we got root. Let's confirm this by trying to view the shadow file. Yeah, there we go. Well, there's an FTP account. Well, it looks like one. Okay, but enough of that. Let's go after our final flag, which I'm going to go directly to. Why did that? Oh, I'll probably have to do it like this. Yes. Right. Here it goes. And our final flag. All right, awesome. Let me go back and make sure. Just want to make sure that that was everything. Okay, awesome. Well, there you have it, guys. We have just hacked the Mr. Robot Capture the Flag Lab. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a fun one. If you enjoyed these videos, please throw me a thumbs up. It definitely motivates me to make some more videos. I do appreciate all the kind words that y'all have been sending my way. And I will see you guys on the other side.